everybody, and welcome back to another episode of When Reality Hits. Happy Friday. I hope everybody had a fabulous week. Today I have on one of my wonderful, fabulous friends. We've been friends for we calculated it up, about 8 years now.
Wow.
8 years. The lovely, amazing Jared Lipscomb. Hello.
Hey. Oh my God.
I'm so happy to have you on. As you guys know, Jared has been my friend for many, many, many years, and he also is co-host on This Side of the Hill, the podcast with Janet and Jason. So make sure you guys
from the Valley.
Yep. From the Valley crew. So make sure you guys give their podcast a listen as well. You have episodes that come out
every Wednesday. Yeah.
So
thanks for the plug early on. Yes. Okay.
Gotta make sure I get that in there for you. So, okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Oh my God.
So many years ago. So we were talking about this before we started. We met whenever I was on season 6 of Vanderpump Rules.
Of a little show called Vanderpump Rules. Yes.
And by the time I met you, I was already living on that Kings Road, Melrose apartment,
you were on
right?
the apartment that was down the hall from Katie and Schwartz.
Yes, Katie and Schwartz. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy that we live down the hall from each other. I forget about that sometimes. It seems like a whole different world.
Do we ever even cross that side of the hill?
No.
It's so crazy to even think about it.
I hardly ever go back over to the West Hollywood area, but it's just crazy. Yeah, we lived right down the hall from them. If you guys remember on Vanderpump Rules, it's whenever Jax and I had that 2-story apartment, and of course, as we said, down the hall from Katie and Tom. But we changed the planks. Remember, we put the wood planks on.
I remember.
I made that place look so much better.
So homey and because a lot of the LA apartments can feel so, I don't know, just dry and the same, and white walls and just stark and bare.
Yes.
You said no. Let me Kentucky it up.
Nope. I feel like every house that I've lived in, I add Kentucky to it.
Yeah.
Farmhouse vibes, no matter where.
Well, and just because that's the character you bring to a place. So, you know what I mean? So you bring the vibes.
It's got to match.
And glitter and,
it's got to match me. Oh my gosh. I didn't think I was even going to talk about this, but whenever we put up those wooden planks, we did dark wood stain, a chestnut stain, and a gray stain, and I sat there and stained every single piece of wood.
Oh,
and then we had somebody come over and hang it up. But gosh, I'm so hands on.
I know. Yeah, you are a handy woman. You're what's that called? A jack of all trades.
Yes. It's so funny because I've always been the one in all of my relationships, pretty much, that put together all the furniture.
That's not surprising at all, actually.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I'm that actually checks out for you.
Yeah. Even thinking about whenever I did Cruz's bedroom, I was pregnant, and don't worry, I wore a mask. I did it outside, but it was during COVID time, so there wasn't much to do. So I was heavy on nesting and decorating, getting everything ready. And I don't like for the woods to not be the same color in a room.
Totally.
That drives me nuts. So I was pregnant, and I was wearing my mask, and I was staining all the wood to match Cruz's room, and
God.
hanging up little dinosaur prints and making sure the wood was stained the same color, staining his little tent thing that he has in his room, his little bookshelf. Aww.
Do you think everyone has the same wood thing that we have where it can't be mismatched wood? Do you think it's a common thing for millennials, or is it just us? Because we grew up in the South with you know what I mean? In the South, there's so much wood,
I don't know, because it really drives me nuts. Even we're sitting in my living room right now in my house, and if you look around, all my wood matches.
Yeah, I know.
Every single piece has the same
stain,
color.
Yeah, every piece has the same stain to it.
I think if not, it just looks too mix matched, you know?
Yeah. Or that guy from Parks and Rec, when the lumberjack guy, it's you just have so much wood around. A big old butcher block.
I don't have that much wood, but still, I cannot handle that. Okay, so we got a little distracted there. But back to the beginning, the way that I met Jared. So Jared was a makeup artist.
Yes. I was already working as a makeup artist.
Yes, already working as a makeup artist. And through Vanderpump Rules, we were trying to get glam.
Well, they had me go do touch-ups for the after show. Back when the VPR after show was still on BravoTV.com or something.
So they did it with through this app called Priv.
Yes.
Is that still around?
It's not. No.
It's not? Okay.
Yeah.
But Jared was somebody that they sent, and that's how we met.
Yeah, it was so crazy. It's a beauty on demand app that doesn't, it's kind of like Glam Squad. And they were actually owned by NBC Universal.
That's probably why they were
so
using
they would,
Priv.
So someone asked me, they were like, hey, will you be like one of our VIP coordinators? Like, would you be someone who like helps with our VIP clients?
And you're like, heck yes.
I was like, hell yeah. And so one of my first gigs was, they're like, okay, you're going to go do touch-ups for this show called Vanderpump Rules. And
that's how we met. And I instantly love Jared. His positivity just like shines. And whenever you're like especially for like an after show or like a Watch What Happens or anything that's like a live, like a lot of pressure to do interviews, it's so good to have like a positive glam squad with you, you know?
Yeah, it changes the energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's so interesting that like when you're on set with this stuff, especially when it's reality, it can be very daunting. It can feel heavy. It can feel dark. It can feel scary. So having someone there to be like cheerful and just kind of like brighten the mood, I always find that's like the most important part when I was doing makeup. It's like, even if it's before a red carpet or something, there's always some level of like nerves.
Yes,
like I'm about to go to set. I'm about to go to do this. I'm about to spill the tea. Like,
the nerves are there.
So you can't really feed into the nerves. Like if I made you nervous, like if I was getting nervous like about something, then you would get more nervous and feel like, and who knows how you would feel.
Exactly. And I think that's why I clicked with you from the very beginning, is because of your positive energy. And like you never made me, you always would like take my mind off of what was like going on, and you would always like bring my nerves down. And so I think you did me and Kristen first, right?
So I did all of you guys for touch-ups throughout that whole day, and then you and Kristen were both like, what's your number? Like, can we connect or whatever? And then you guys reached out for the first like glam, I think it was for the season 6 premiere party, to be honest.
And after that, like I'm super loyal to my glam team. So like I used Jared for everything. And then we were looking for a hairstylist.
Yeah.
And he suggested Bradley to me. And that's how Bradley got got here.
Hair by Bradley
Lee, my boo. And Bradley is still my hair stylist. He's amazing. So that's been going on for 8 years as well. Yeah. And of course, Jared, he was my makeup artist for a very long time. You went to New York with me. You did my Cosmopolitan shoot.
We did so much
where
together.
I got to be like Carrie Bradshaw and try on all the different wedding dresses. That's like probably my favorite shoot I've ever done.
People are like, what's one of your favorite, jobs? I was like, working on a horror movie, because I've only done it once. I'll never do it again. And the Cosmo shoot.
Yeah, the Cosmo shoot was awesome. What horror movie did you do?
It was like one of those pandemic released, like straight to video called No Escape. It's on Amazon or Hulu right now for free.
What kind of, like you had to do like scary makeup?
So they had the makeup artist from The Nun, like the Nun movies. He did the actual like horror makeup. I just did the glam makeup, because it was set in Russia, and like it was like this whole thing about an escape room, and it was.
So you did like the glam. You didn't have to do like the gory.
I did the same thing I always do. The pretty girly makeup that's HD camera ready. So
how what is like some of the cool jobs that you've worked on as a makeup artist in LA over the years?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love to do celebrity, and I love to do like red carpets and like working, with you guys in TV. Like that's always what I wanted to do when I was decided to do makeup.
Yeah.
And I think, I got to do the cast of Orange is the New Black pretty early on in my career. And it was one of those things because, when you work at restaurants in LA, you never know like who knows who, and everyone's so connected. And one of my coworkers was like, hey, my friend's on Orange is the New Black. She's nominated for the SAG Awards, and she needs help with makeup. And I was like, send her my way.
Yes.
And next thing you know, I'm doing like half of the LA cast for Orange is the New Black. And that just felt so cool.
That show was huge. I actually rewatched that recently.
It's so good. And I
rewatch it, and you forget everything that happened, and it's like a brand new show.
It's so, And I remember watching season 1, and then I met the girls in season 2.
Didn't you do like Flocka? What was her real name?
Wait, what's her name? On the show?
Flocka, right? On the show? It was like the two pretty girls, and they would always like wear their...
Oh, yeah, Jackie and... Yeah, Diane.
Yeah.
I did... I only did touch-ups on Jackie.
Yeah.
I did the evil prison guard lady, like the higher up lady.
Yes.
And then the crackheads with Taryn Manning.
Yes.
Yeah. So like the meth heads.
Yes.
So that was one of my, and then Crazy Eyes lover, not Crazy Eyes, not Uzo Aduba, who's so like iconic.
Oh my gosh, amazing actress. Yeah. Amazing.
But that was always my favorite job, like at the beginning, because it was just like one of my first jobs, and because I was such a fan of the show, and it was just like crazy. It was my first little bit of like when I would get like media attention being like, oh, look how good these girls look, because on Orange is the New Black, they make them look so bad.
Right.
So they would look the transformation. They would be like, this is the best makeup artist ever. And I'm like, well, to be fair, they literally put yellow stain on their teeth.
Yes.
Like they make them look so bad.
Yeah.
Like I could have just put a little lipstick on them and they would have still looked like gorgeous.
And a teeth whitening strip.
Yeah. but that's, so I love that. Yeah. And then I love to do the horror movie, and the hours are long for a horror movie. Late nights. Yeah. It's very exhausting, but it's so fun. One and done. Never going to do it again.
Yeah.
And then the Cosmo shoot. That was so crazy.
That
and when
amazing.
we did that, Baby Spice was in the building too doing a shoot.
What?
Yeah, Emma Bunton.
How did we not know that?
I knew it because
you knew it? Did you tell me?
You went in for an interview, and then I was like walking to the bathroom, and then she just walked by, and I was like, oh,
Baby Spice was always the Spice Girl that I said I was.
You have your Spice Girl shirt on.
God,
She's wearing her Spice. Oh my God. I wonder if that's why I was thinking about that.
Maybe that was. Yeah, I always, because I used to be like super blonde.
Oh, okay.
And I always said I was Baby Spice.
Oh my God. I was always posh.
Yeah. I feel like that would be such a good Halloween costume to do, but then it's like everybody would fight over which Spice Girl they were going to be. You know?
I know. No one ever wanted to be Sporty Spice.
I know.
Although nowadays I feel like Janet would be Sporty Spice.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah.
She's like, let me wear leggings and a sports bra and I'm good. I would want to get an all glam.
Yeah, me too. I would want to do like how Baby always had her hair like up in little like knots and stuff, you know?
You do that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually kind of...
I should just do it and bring it back.
Yeah. 1997, baby.
Yes. So going back to... because Jared was my makeup artist.
Yes.
Do you do makeup at all anymore?
Only on myself, and I work with a couple brands, like kind of showcasing how products work, but I don't do any makeup on other people.
Yeah, and well, sometimes like I'll do my makeup, and I'll be like, if he's coming over to come out with me or something, I'll be like, do you care to like contour my face? Because I could do my eyes pretty good, but I don't know how to contour.
Yeah,
like still after all this time, I don't know how to contour.
When Brittany has a sharp contour on, it's because either Anais or me or somebody's touched her face. Put a little extra. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo call it the shelf. They are like, they say their cheekbone. They're like,
oh yeah,
like a shelf.
Yes, me too. And I like how like you can put some like bronzer underneath your chin to make it not look like you have a double chin.
Yes. Oh, one of the best things.
But anytime I try to put bronzer on to do like my cheekbones or the shelf, it always just looks like a smear of poop on my face. Like it never looks like contour.
It's hard to do it on yourself. I still have a hard time when I do it on myself. It's like, oh my God.
Like I always see it like just like so obvious that it's makeup, you know?
Yeah.
And not so that's why I'm still like, oh my gosh, like Jared, will you please just like touch up my skin after I've already done everything else? And you're down to do that.
Hell yeah.
As I've talked about before, Cruz is a very picky eater. So having a vitamin that gives him everything he needs, especially while he is growing so much and so fast right now, is super important to me. I absolutely love Haya. He's been taking them for a while. He loves them. He actually eats them. And as picky as he is, he will take them every single day. Formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Haya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and everything else you can imagine. I love Haya. Cruz loves them. He loves decorating the bottles with the stickers that come with your first order. He thinks that they are so fun. He actually eats them, as I said so many times. He is such a picky eater, so I feel so great that he's getting the nourishment that he needs. You have to try them out. They are so good. I also recommend checking out their new kids probiotic and nighttime essentials. We worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/realityhits. This deal is not available on their regular website. So go to HIYAHEALTH.com/realityhits and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. So around my wedding, Jared did my makeup at the Kentucky Castle. That was a great day, even though things are crazy now. Still was like one of the best weekends ever, you know. I'll never change that.
Yeah.
It was amazing memories and amazing time. So Jared started getting sick and we didn't know why.
Yeah.
But I think around my wedding was whenever you were like losing a bunch of weight and your stomach was hurting a lot. You were like nauseous
and getting a lot of these weird headaches and things like that. Yeah.
So do you want to tell everyone like what happened?
Yeah. So around that, your wedding was what, June 29th?
Yes.
Yeah. So then
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So I came back and I was still working for like most of July and some of August. And then I got really sick by the end of August, like starting to have to cancel jobs and things like that. And I had done a shoot with Hannah G.
Yeah.
And
From The Bachelor.
And I was like running to the bathroom, like so sick, like during the whole shoot. It was with Shoe Dazzle. And literally, I was like, I have to go to like the emergency room like a couple days later. So by the end of that week, I was in the emergency room getting blood tests. And a day later, they told me I had leukemia.
Yeah.
So I was 31, diagnosed with leukemia. My
31.
parents immediately came out and, yeah, and then the trajectory of everything changed.
But you beat it.
I did, yeah.
You are a survivor.
Yeah, would I bust out into the Destiny's Child song?
Yes.
But yeah. So I am now.
It's been a journey, though.
It was quite a journey.
Yeah.
From 2019. I started treatment I got diagnosed August 27th, was in treatment the first week of September. Had a stem cell transplant in March 2020. We get back. Brittany and you and Kristen took me to Vegas right before my transplant.
Yeah, right before your transplant.
We saw Christina Aguilera at her residency in Vegas.
A fun trip.
March 7th, 2020. If the dates start sounding a little familiar, it's because in just a week we would get the global shutdown from the pandemic. But yeah, I mean, it was quite a journey. I had the stem cell transplant, had to recover from that.
Remember, none of us could visit you in the hospital and stuff.
Yeah.
It was too risky, obviously. So we all we knew where his window was in the hospital. So a bunch of us and his dear friends and family, we all tried to make a heart in the parking lot.
You guys tried.
We tried. But yeah, that was special.
It was like a flashlight mob.
Yes.
And they were like, go look out your window. I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
But that's amazing because you beat it and you've stayed so positive throughout it, even though I know it's been so hard for you and you have your moments. And
yeah, I mean, obviously life is just ups and downs and whatever, but it's a long process. And I think sometimes when you get in that process, it makes it not easier, but because you have to deal with it for a longer amount of time.
Yes.
I mean, you're going through something that's dragging out for a long time.
Yeah.
It's how do I make, how can I get through each day? And it's well, you can either choose to be miserable and hateful and negative, or you can say, well, buckle up, Buttercup. We got to keep going.
That's right.
So,
and not only did you beat cancer, you also became a huge advocate.
Yeah.
And you started working. And I know it's not called Be the Match anymore. Can you remind me what it's called?
Yeah,
now?
it's Be the Match /NMDP.
Okay, yes. So if you guys remember on season 1 of The Valley, we actually, had filmed an event
there.
there.
It was the gala.
The gala.
That I'm a part of the board of ambassadors for NMDP / Be the Match.
And so me and Kristen had been to and Janet came for a couple of years, but me and Kristen had been to 4 of those previously, and they're always so amazing. And Jared gets up and speaks, and he got to meet his donor 1 year.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And that's such an amazing program because he saved your life and you never met him before.
No,
just a random person. Didn't he? He was from Germany.
He's from Marion, from Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, from Bavaria, Germany, way out there.
And they flew him in, and they got to meet each other, and we got to see it, and it was just so beautiful.
Because I will say, with the Be the Match, it's a stem cell donor matching program. Yes. And unlike organ donations, this you can very much be alive to donate. In fact, you have to be alive to donate.
Yeah.
So if anyone is interested in joining, you can text my Instagram handle, Jared Lips, to 61474 and learn more and see if you qualify to join the registry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you for being such a big part of that and helping spread awareness for that. And you became Visionary of the Year.
2024, baby.
That was
last
amazing.
Year. Yes, with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Yes.
It was a big fundraising push and a kind of like a campaign, basically. And it was crazy. I won it.
I know. So. We knew you were going to win it. We were all there to watch you, and it was just it was so great. I'm so proud of you.
Well, it feels like you have to pay it forward. I mean, you get it. It's like when, again, you gotta just, I don't know, you can either wallow in your misery or you can keep it moving and keep it positive and
that's what you've done. And I've always admired you for that.
Well, thank you.
And I will always help you however I can. Whenever you're doing these things, that.
Thank you.
You can count on me. Yeah, that party in season 1, it was a beautiful thing. And then there was arguing, and we were all like, we don't want to argue here. This is, whenever we were filming.
Yeah.
We were like, we don't want to argue.
And I was kind of like, well, there could be a little drama because usually if there's drama, that means it's going to definitely make the cut on the show. And I don't want the charity to get cut out.
Exactly.
So if Jesse and Kristen need to have a little fight outside, go ahead, guys.
At least they took it out front.
Yeah, away from the beautiful ceremony happening.
Yes, where everybody was crying and so happy, and
it would have been hilarious if they would have shown the actual of what was going on inside versus what was going on outside. It would have been so hilarious because it was
a little side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, the memories. That seems like it was so long ago that we filmed that episode.
Wild. Yeah, time just keeps slipping into the future.
Oh my goodness. Well, I love you. I'm so proud of you. You are a survivor.
Yes, and I'm officially cancer-free. 5 years in the clear.
5 years in the clear.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. And you feel good now?
I do. It's like I said, everything's still a roller coaster.
Yeah.
There's your body goes through a lot when you get that kind of treatment and stuff. But night and day from where I started.
Exactly.
And it's, and also everyone has to remind me, my therapist has to remind me, Jared, you were 31 when this started. You're pushing 40 now.
Yeah.
Your body changes. It's not just because you were sick,
Yeah.
So I'm getting used to, feeling the aches and pains. And my brother will be like, I have aches and pains now too. We all have aches and pains.
Yeah.
So besides that, I'm doing fabulous.
You are doing fabulous. We went to Scheana Shay's 40th birthday party last night.
Death to her 30s.
Death to her 30s. And we all were supposed to wear black, funeral. I'm doing funeral attire and quotations.
Yes, air quotes.
Air quotes, because all that I heard was to wear a black cocktail dress. And you guys know I am all about a theme. So if I had realized that it was supposed to be a little bit more funeral-y, I would have dove into the theme more.
I did think you look beautiful, obviously, but I was like, oh, she looks pretty, but I was expecting a veil or some black, black
and
lips.
then whenever I said that, I was like, Scheana, I'm all about themes. I would have went all out for this. But also, to give myself a little credit, I've been nonstop.
Girl.
It's been all amazing things, but I've been New York, Boston, reunion, commercial shoot, and just everything in between, being a mom, doing this, doing that, therapies,
summer birthday.
It's just been nonstop. Kristen's baby shower, it was all amazing, beautiful things. So I just wasn't thinking about it, but I wasn't the only one. A lot of people were there just wearing black dresses.
No, I think most people show up in like most people don't, I think, get into a theme as much as you and I do.
I'm disappointed in myself though that I didn't realize. I was just thinking black cocktail dress because we all knew we were wearing black and Scheana was wearing red.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not going full force with the theme.
I know. That's why I was like, I'm doing a dark lip. I'm doing like the dark smoky eye. Like I'm going full glam.
Yeah.
I did have a little veil thing, but I forgot to put it on.
Sheena was like, I had other veils. And I was like, well, crap. Bring one out to me. I'll wear it. You know?
That party was fun.
It was fun, though. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. There was like people upstairs giving massages. There was a magician walking around the magician literally turned a deck of cards into a clear deck of cards. How did he do that?
No, there's so many things.
It was in my hand.
He took our friend Maddie's ring off of her finger. And of her finger.
And then had it on his keys and then had it in a closed envelope, sealed envelope, and gave it to her and it was in there. How do they do it?
We need to watch that show again. Like, no, because even the magician's secret or revealed, they never showed like these small tricks. They always showed like how they do the big tricks.
Well, the magician, he apparently had won some kind of like magic award that year.
Well, he deserved it.
Yeah, he was so good. And gosh, he did something else. Oh yeah, Janet was... me and Janet were sitting there like watching him and he asked her to pick a number like on the deck of cards or whatever. And I think she said like 4. This is just me making up a number, like 4 and 4 of diamonds. And he was like, oh, he's like, oh, okay. That's crazy that you said 4 of diamonds. And he like reaches into his pocket and it's a 3 of diamonds. And Janet was like, oh man, I would have given you so much credit if that was 3 of diamonds. And then he flipped the card around and on the back it had written in it 1 away.
No.
Like 1 number away.
No. Oh.
Same everything. Like, how did he do that?
Is magic real? Or is it just like...
Is magic real?
Like, seriously. I am so... Because this is like the stuff, and it's the up-close magician, so it's not like... You know, when you watch on TV, you never know what can be edited away.
Up, ever.
No, I know.
Person.
The confidence, I would be so scared that I would be like, oh my God, I hope this...
I'd be a nervous wreck doing that.
I'd
because
be like, oh my gosh, I hope it's the right card. I hope it's the right. And he's so confident.
Yeah. There was a tarot card reader there too.
Did you get your cards read?
I did. It was kind of crazy. I can't remember everything about it. I wish Jasmine could like pop in here because Jasmine was sitting there with me whenever I got it done. But it definitely talked a lot about like what I'm going through in my life.
Really?
And like said that I have like a positive future ahead of me and like success and different things like that coming my way. And I was like, thank God, you know, so there was a lot of positivity about it, but then there was also a lot of like, you've been hurt, you've been, you know, but it's crazy like how spot on those can be sometimes too.
You know, I read tarot a little bit.
You do?
Yeah, just unofficially. Like I would never charge for it or anything. But sometimes it's just fun therapeutically, just to like pull a card.
It's not like I believe everything that comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, it was kind of spot on in different ways.
Well, I always say, I'm like, the cards don't lie.
That's right.
But there's a million ways to interpret them. So it's like you could literally get the card of death and then be like, oh my God. And then, but you could also be like, oh wait, you could read it and be like, this is the death of my old ego or like the death of my insecurities and it's the rebirth of something else. Like, there's so many ways to read it, but
towards the end it was kind of crazy
spot on.
Because he was saying that it like, I can't remember exactly what card it was, but he was like, somebody in your friend group is out to get you.
Oh Lord.
And I was like, what? And he was like, throw out a couple different like initials. And I'm not even going to say what initial he said it was.
Oh, my God.
I was like, this is wild. And I was like, and I told him, I said, I don't believe that at all. But it was just like crazy because he was like, what, somebody doesn't want you to be successful. Somebody is like jealous of your success. And I was like, this is crazy.
And then he gave you initial?
Initial. And I told him.
Did it ring a bell?
Yeah, but I don't believe it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who it was later, but they can speculate. But it's like, I was just like, no, that's not.
Oh my God.
That's not true, you know? But it was just crazy. And like, Jasmine and my friend Elaine were sitting there and they were both like, I was like, no, don't tell me that. Cause then you can like, if you actually believe everything that's said, like I could be in my, like, I don't believe that part, but like somebody would hear that and be like, oh my God, this person's out to get me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you're like kind of easily swayed by that stuff, you would fully be like, oh, now I have to be on high alert.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, no.
that's actually pretty bold of the tarot card readers. Because usually like everything I've learned about tarot is like, be gentle, learn, like when you're doing a reading for someone else, understand that they could be coming to you after a loss in their family, or they could be coming to you after a breakup, or.
Well, and he had just told me I had been through a lot, and I, like blah, blah, blah. So he like knew what was going on.
And he's like, oh, and by the way, get fucked over by.
I was like, no, this is not happening. But still, it was a lot of fun. And they had food there and everything. And Scheana looked beautiful. She does not look 40 whatsoever.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean,
because that salmon DNA we like all slather on ourselves.
Salmon DNA.
Serious. That skincare is good. She swears by it. She puts the eye patches on her freaking smiles.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like it too because they have like the little dermo thing, or what's it called?
Like microderm.
Yes.
Yeah, it punctures the skin a little bit.
A little. You don't feel it, but it's it's cool because it like goes in deeper. What's their company name?
Cotrini.
Yeah, Cotrini. Yeah. They're so sweet. They were there last night too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time.
It was a good time. Like, we were there. Janet was there. Jason was there. Jasmine was there. Lala was there. Michelle and Aaron were there.
I fangirled over Luke he used to be on Summer House, and I think he's coming back.
I saw him standing there, and like, I never talked to him or anything. Or like, somebody should have said, hey, this is Brittany, or like introduced us or something.
I made Logan introduce me. I was like, go introduce me to that man. I was like, he is so cute. And I was like, I've seen him on TV before.
Yeah, he is.
And you know me, I only fangirl over like Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, and apparently this Luke guy.
And yeah, I was going to say Paris Hilton, but yeah, because you've met her a couple times too, which is crazy.
Her.
But yeah, that Luke guy is pretty cute. I was like, dang it, I wish somebody would have been like, hey, Brittany.
Yeah, come on over here.
Let me introduce you to Luke. I'm single, guys.
Yeah, we got
Everybody keeps forgetting.
I'm single too, and then everyone I spot ends up being straight as an arrow, which isn't my. I'm not even one of those. I'm not even into
You're
like
not.
No, I like effeminate guys, but it's just like, where you at?
Where you at?
Come sashay over, babies.
Dating in LA is crazy, isn't it?
Oh my God.
It's like there's a lot of people, but also LA is so small.
It feels so small. And then you throw in something like being gay and single, and then like in your 30s and like, oh my God, like I can't even touch the Venice West Side dating scene because I used to live there for like 10 years. So it's like, no.
There are a lot of awesome things that have come out of Australia. Like the Hemsworth brothers, of course, Uggs, the Crocodile Hunter, and so much more. But my favorite new Aussie export that's finally available in the U.S. is the Koala Sofa Bed. I love the Koala Sofa Bed because they are so comfy. They have so many different color options. The quality is amazing, and I can use it as a bed whenever I have guests. It is so great. Koala makes the most comfortable mattresses, and the sofa beds actually use their mattress technology inside. They have beautiful color options inspired by the Aussie Outback. Koala deserves Instagram-worthy color options, so no sad beige or millennial gray here. No uncomfortable metal frames. Unlike traditional sofa beds, Koalas are designed for pure comfort. Tool-free assembly. No Allen wrenches, no stress, no tears. Everything comes in the box and easily slides, clicks, or screws together. It's perfect for small spaces. No need for a guest room. Koala Sofa Bed comes in 3 sizes to fit smaller spaces. They have fast shipping and free returns, no delivery or restocking fees. That's almost unheard of in the industry. 120-night risk-free trial, nearly 4 months to make sure it's the perfect fit for your home. Upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed available. To get $100 off your new sofa, plus fast shipping, go to us.koala.com/realityhits. That's us.koala.com/realityhits. To get $100 off your new sofa, Koala, comfy, easy, sustainable. I mean, it's just crazy because everybody I'll hang out with somebody or whatever, and then I see that he's connected or follows some of the same people as me, and I'm like, how do they know each other?
Social media, it's the best thing sometimes and the worst thing sometimes, because it's if people would see who I follow without me realizing, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm still following this person.
Yeah.
So it could be the most unserious thing, but then all of a sudden in your head you can see it and be like, this person that I'm dating now, I follow their Instagram and I can see that they follow so and so and so and so. Like,
yeah,
this makes me question everything.
Yes, but also like, you're not going to go on a date with somebody and not check out their social media beforehand.
No.
Like, I'm going to do all the investigating. I'm going to Google your name.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if you've ever done any podcasts so I can tell your personality.
Yeah.
I am not getting effed over ever again. Let me just tell you that much.
One thing about Brittany, never again is she getting fucked over, okay?
I've learned my lesson. I lived and I learned.
Hello. She lived and learned and
learned.
Not doing that again. Not running it back. No. Moving forward.
Moving forward.
Oh my God.
I will say I am feeling so much better and so much happier. I can't talk too much about the show and stuff, but I'm in such a better place now than I was over the summer.
Yeah.
So I'm like happy about that,
Doesn't it feel good?
It does.
I know we can't talk a lot, but like, does it feel good?
It feels good that I'm like on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And things are definitely getting better for me.
And like I said, when there's something like, traumatic in life, like how I was just talking about cancer, it's like, it's not just all of a sudden it's all better now.
No, it takes time.
Everything in life is ups and downs and stuff, but it's definitely, you're on the other side of the tunnel or the other side of the
other side of the valley.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I just feel a lot more positive. And I always try to like preach positivity myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much healthier to stay in a positive mindset. Like, anytime I'm down about something, I try to focus on like the good in my life, like my son, my beautiful home, my friends, my family, my health, there's so many things to be happy about. So I always try to tell people to just like, if you're in a hard time, just focus on the good things in your life.
Yeah.
That's just something I try to do. It's not always easy.
No, and sometimes it has to be like a lazy version of that.
Yeah.
Like pop on a movie, distract yourself, but stay positive.
Yes.
Don't let yourself go to that negative,
exactly.
hellhole.
Really quick, I just want to say, Michelle and Zach had their first Watch What Happens Live episode
God, they
on
looked
Tuesday.
So good.
They both looked amazing. I love their outfits. Michelle's glam was great. She used Priscilla and Julius, who I always use whenever I go to New York. So I made sure I was like, girl, you got to ask for Priscilla and Julius.
Yeah.
And they did amazing on her, which Michelle's beautiful, so it doesn't take that much anyway. But it was their first time ever on Watch What Happens Live.
Did you give them like any advice, or were you
yes.
like here's, because I mean, obviously I've seen you do Watch What Happens Live and you're like a pro. You still get nervous beforehand.
Oh, I still get nervous. I do this weird thing where I like have to be quiet.
Yes.
Like before. And everybody's probably like, cause I'm normally like super talkative and stuff, but like right before I go on, I like get quiet and I don't know why. It's just
nerves.
Yeah. It's just something that happens to me. But yeah, I was like texting them both, that morning and I was like, have fun. Don't overthink it. Be yourself and enjoy it, because this is like a once in a lifetime experience. Like a lot of people will never get to do this. Like, enjoy it and have fun.
True. Yeah.
Like, just be in a good mindset and just, focus on the good, like I always say. And then I FaceTimed them right before they went out and like saw their outfits and looks and everything. And they did so great. And I'm just so happy for them.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been there to experience their first time with them, cause I got to be with Luke and that was his first time too.
Oh,
And I loved that. So of course I was telling Luke, like, don't be nervous. We got this, even though I'm nervous too, but just be yourself. Have fun. And I thought
they were really entertaining, and I thought they like
when they changed Zach's voice to the demonic
demon voice. Oh, and he had no idea it was about to happen. He just said something and he's like, oh my God, looked around.
It was hilarious.
Oh
How about
my
whenever
God.
I was on there and they brought out Kristen's green dress and had the green dress talking to me.
That show is so unserious. I'm like, oh my God.
Because we don't know like what's going to happen, so they just like come out with these hilarious things and then you're just shocked.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I guess I have to respond to this or figure out how to.
And then Andy pulling on Zach's hair.
Oh my God.
That was so funny.
That is one thing. Obviously, Zach and I have had a rocky roads in the past and stuff. I think we're in a good place now.
Yeah.
But I've always known that his hair is real.
Yes, it is real.
Yeah,
100%. I would know more than anybody. He's been my friend for like 17 years. I love him. His hair is real.
It is real. It's just, it's funny.
It's just thick.
It's thick. I actually never noticed that about him until people started pointing it out. And I was like, oh yeah.
Me either. And I've been friends with him for years and we never ever never talked about it. We never thought about it, like, ever.
He was never like, oh my gosh, I have to go get my hair cut at a special place because I have a toupee.
No, he was always just like, I'll have to wear a hat, or, you know, like he would like talk about hair days and stuff. But like, I never thought that. He just has really thick hair, which is great
with cowlicks,
which is great for a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these guys out here talking crap would be lucky to have Zach's hair. You know what I mean? Like, for real, for real. But they did amazing. They looked great. And I'm so happy for them. So you were wanting to talk a little bit about the Met Gala.
Oh, yeah. Did you get into the first Monday of May?
So I definitely saw on like social media some looks.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I thought it was an interesting theme of like the tailored, inspired by like black men and dandyism. And so it's like a very gender fluid theme this year. So I thought the looks were interesting. I was not expecting everyone to be in versions of like tuxedos or like very structured. But I guess if you think about it, it makes sense because it's like a tailored look.
Well, Zendaya and who else? I'm trying to think. They like almost came in the same exact outfit.
Oh, yeah. I think
the white
Honest
suits.
Y from Shogun or something.
Because they both had like the flappy hat too. They looked great. But what would you do if you were walking Met Gala and you almost had the same outfit as somebody else?
Her Zendaya stylist La Roche was on the red carpet when the other girl showed up.
Oh, really?
And he was like, "What in the world?" Because usually designers are like,
do they like talk about their looks and stuff before?
Well, it's usually like one of a kind. It's either couture or it's like they're pulling like an old archival look, like Kim Kardashian pulled Marilyn Monroe's look that one year.
Oh, I loved that.
That was crazy.
Because I love Marilyn Monroe. Obviously, my dog's named Monroe. But to be like, she had to get so little.
Yeah.
Remember?
That was such a crazy watch on Kardashians.
Yes.
But so the thing is these dresses are either custom made or these outfits are custom made or they're like pulled from the archives.
So it's just chance that they showed up like that.
Well, it made, I'm sure her stylist, he looked shocked. He was giving an interview. He was like, wait, that's the same outfit as Zendaya. And he like is famous for styling Zendaya. And, like, giving her unique
she always
style. And so I don't know. I would be, for an event like that, like anywhere else, I would not care. I'd be like, oh, that's iconic. Like I have the same, unless it's someone someone embarrassing.
Yeah.
But in general, I'd be like, that's awesome.
Right. But
at the Met Gala, it's like the whole point is you have your own freaking, your whole special look.
Yeah.
So I'd be so pissed.
See, I liked Kim Kardashian's look. A lot of people were hating on it, but I thought she looked great.
The biggest thing I read about hers and what the feedback was is like, we want to see a different silhouette on her, which I feel
it's always like tight, big booty. Like I get that.
Exactly.
But I thought it was hot though.
I mean, she did look hot.
Yeah.
But I'm 50-50 with that because it's also like, all right, guys, think about ourselves. We like to wear the silhouette that looks best on us.
Exactly. We're always going to want to wear what makes us feel good and look good. And that's her thing.
Yeah. And I think
if she showed up in like a poofy gown like she did, like I forget what carpet that was. It was like a poofy gown, but then like the butt was still tight.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like the white dress and they were saying it looked like her wedding dress to Chris Humphries.
Oh my God.
So she's always got to show that booty, which I would too if I had a body like that. Whose was your favorite?
It's just wild because it's like, I mean, I get wanting to change it up, but I just can't see Kim Kardashian doing some weird square shoulder, giant, big old hat, either. Like whatever.
I can't either. I thought she still looked good.
Who was my favorite?
Well, I also love that Rihanna always announces her pregnancies in such iconic ways.
Literally just going to say, like, I can't believe she announced by walking down the street on the way to the Met Gala.
On the way to Met Gala.
Not even in full hair and make, like she was walking to the Mark Hotel.
But I think it's like amazing because she knew, like, obviously she's going to the Met Gala. It's going to happen. But like, she's so real for just doing it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love her.
Like how she did at the Super Bowl. She was just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm pregnant. I'm about to do this entire performance.
How did nobody get pictures of her this whole time? Because she's already got a bump.
I mean, she must be fully in her second trimester. Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
I'm like, how do y'all get away with this?
I heard money combined.
I can take the freaking garbage out. And there's a horrible picture of me taking the garbage cans out where I look like a monster.
That it is so crazy when we first realized that paparazzi would follow, like you, or when I was hanging out with Ariana during Scandal. It's like, Oh, yeah. The paparazzi still follow people.
Yeah.
This isn't just in 2007 with
But
Britney
that's what I'm
Spears.
saying. Like, I ain't Rihanna. How did they not find Rihanna?
I feel like Rihanna has bought her way out into privacy. The same way Taylor Swift can like fly private and never have to actually be around people.
Yeah.
It's scary though, because like Lady Gaga had that huge concert in Brazil with 2.5 million people. We talk about it in detail on our podcast if anyone is interested in hearing all about it, because I'm a Gaga super fan.
Yeah, you would know everything.
Yeah, all the details. But the short of it is Brazil's a very passionate fan base, and they don't always get the concerts there and stuff. So whenever a big artist comes, they go ham. They all stood outside of her freaking hotel singing songs at all hours of the night.
All hours of the night.
And bless her heart, she sent them pizza at one point, like a day into it. She was like, but then there was reports saying like her and her fiance weren't able to leave the hotel.
Yeah.
They only were able to go to the restaurant inside.
I'm sure that level is really hard sometimes. You know, like everybody looks at that like, oh, it's so amazing, which it is, but like you got to let them have some privacy.
It's
here
a give and take.
Yeah,
and it's like, I mean,
sure.
I imagine she probably knew what she was getting into. Like, okay, I'm doing a show in Rio, and it's going to be the most, it's 2.5 million people showed up.
They
like,
probably
I'm not
followed from the concert to know where she was going.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no one, So, and it's
there was
like,
no way to get away with that many people.
If she wanted to go sightsee in Brazil, she could make it happen. She could come and fly private, hire a team,
for sure,
rent out places and go look at them. So, I think, it's a weird thing, like to have people standing outside of your hotel singing your songs all night, but
she probably likes it too. There's
a
up and down.
Why. Yeah,
exactly.
You're a pop star like that who's doing a huge concert for 2.5 million people.
Heck
so
yeah. I mean, crazy.
Gosh, me and you, we really are just getting detoured, sidetracked, because I'm like, oh, wait, what were we talking about?
Wait, I asked you who your favorite Met Gala look was, and somehow we got to Lady Gaga in Brazil.
Lady Gaga wasn't there, but because she was in Brazil, but she always kills it too.
Yeah, she does.
My favorite was Diana Ross.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was Diana Ross.
She had her kids and grandkids' names on it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
I waited on her one time when I was a waiter in Venice, and she came in with Tracy, her daughter, Tracy Ellis Ross, and it was like a bunch of the grandkids, and Ashley Simpson was not there, or Evan.
I've met Evan many times and Ashley.
Yeah.
And I met Tracy once too, because I went to Evan's opening of his, that Mexican restaurant in Beverly Hills. Yeah. So I forgot what's the Hideaway?
Hideaway Beverly Hills.
So I went to the opening and they were all there. So I got to meet all them. And then I've seen, Nia and Danny have actually known Ashley and Evan for a long time. So I saw her at, Nia's baby shower recently, and then, at school, different things, and, just different events, and Ashley is always so nice. Evan is always so nice.
Yeah.
They came to the bar whenever I was still a part of Jax's, and there all the time. They came there too. Yeah. So they're just really nice people.
I forgot we saw Evan at a gas station. Do you remember that one night? We were pulled up and he was just coming out. We're like, hey, what's up?
They're just really kind people.
Just normal.
Yeah.
So I was waiting on not them, but Tracy and Diana and all of these people, and I was obviously starstruck-ish by Diana Ross, but she's not Paris Hilton, so I wasn't freaking out. So I was like, hey, what can I get you? And she laughed and she goes, ha ha ha, I don't eat. I'll just pick off my grandkids' plates. And she literally told me she doesn't eat. I was like, babe, what?
That is hilarious.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God. And so I ran back and the chef was like, what's Diana Ross having? And I was like, she tells me she doesn't eat. She might pick off the kids. He was like, this is going to be the best chicken tenders and macaroni and cheese I've ever made. And I was like, oh my God.
That is hilarious.
But they were so down to earth. It was like a family dinner at this. It was a chill Venice spot. I mean, it was a cool and, but it wasn't fancy. It was cool vibes.
Yeah.
And they're so something about her, she's so likable.
Yes,
so now anytime I see her, I'm like, I just love her.
Yeah.
So when I saw her at the Met Gala, and I think her look looked
I think she looked great too. I think she looked amazing. Oh, that makes me happy.
Clocking out of the Content Factory. I'm Tucker.
And I'm Becca. And this is a podcast where we take a break from climbing the absolute corporate ladder that is being a TikToker.
That's right. This is the most corporate podcast for the least corporate girlies.
In this pod, we're in the break room with you guys, our gorgeous, gorgeous coworkers.
And you may be wondering, what goes on in the Content Factory?
Give us the agenda, Tucker.
Well, each episode starts with a performance review,
where we talk about what's going on in the week, content we're making, DMs we're getting.
A little peek behind the curtain of the content creator life. We also will be doing an HR report,
where we ask you guys during the week, what is some workplace drama you got going on?
And we'll end each episode with a rapid fire and hire.
Things we want to get rid of and things we want to keep.
For example, Becca, what do you want to fire this week?
My IBS.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And before we go, we have some action items for you.
Please complete by end of day. Follow, rate, and review The Content Factory wherever you get your podcasts.
And as always,
we'll circle back soon.
The Met Gala is always interesting. And I love those memes that are always like people sitting in chairs with their face mask and their hair in curlers and stuff. And they're like,
oh my God.
And they're like, just me judging all the Met Gala looks.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting in their armchairs in a robe.
Well, yeah, so I love the Met Gala. I think Diana Ross for sure.
Oh, wait. I
What?
just had a thought.
What?
Did you see where those two girls snuck in and they got kicked out?
No.
There was like two girls that snuck in and they were like both like really hot. They looked like twins. I'm not sure if they were or if they just like had a lot of work done so they looked alike. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But they were all decked out. I don't know how you get into the Met Gala like that.
Oh,
but yeah,
my
they showed them
God.
getting kicked out and stuff. And somebody on the carpet was like, "What are you wearing?" And they were just like laughing while they were getting kicked out through security.
They'll be wearing orange jumpsuits if they're not careful. Dang. All right, well, before we like say goodbye.
Yes.
I was wondering if I could read this. Have you ever seen on Reddit, they have this thing called like, Am I the Asshole? Where people like ask these opinions.
No.
Okay, so it's a Reddit thread. And
Okay.
people just are like, am I the asshole or is the person I'm talking about the asshole in these
Okay.
situations? Okay. So I saw this one. I was like, oh, I bet you Brittany might have an opinion on this.
Okay, let me have it.
So the girl writing, she's a female 26 and her boyfriend is 25. They were attending a mutual friend's wedding and they're very close to the couple that was getting married.
Okay. Was it two girls or a couple? What'd you say?
So a girl, she's about to talk about her boyfriend.
Okay.
They're 26 and 25 and they were going to, they also have a couple friend who's a straight couple who are getting married.
Okay, gotcha.
So the boyfriend jokes to his friend who's the groom, because they're couple friends.
Right.
About proposing to his girlfriend at their wedding, at the ceremony. And so the girlfriend's like, absolutely not. She's there with the bride.
Okay.
And they're like, no, this is not happening. Haha.
They both say that no, like both
Yeah,
girls.
they're both saying
Yep.
no. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's like 10 paragraphs long.
Yeah.
Apparently this caused the whole thing. So basically, a few weeks before the wedding, the groom references, like, as a joke, like, oh yeah, are you gonna like propose? And the boyfriend's like, yeah, I'm going to, like, at the reception, the wedding reception.
What?
And they're like, no, like, ha ha ha, it's like not happening, whatever. So then the wedding comes, it's getting closer to the wedding and they're not brought up again and whatever. And it's like all good.
Yeah.
Happen. No big deal.
They think they're just kidding.
Yeah. And they are. And like,
Yeah.
there's been no more talk about it or whatever. So then all of a sudden she realizes, cut to the wedding. It's the reception. Everything goes great. And then all of a sudden she's like, her fiance or her boyfriend starts to get nervous, stands up and does like a chin, 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 like ding, ding, ding. And literally is about to do it. And she grabs him, pulls him down and was like, fuck no.
Good.
Do not do this. Like, you are absolutely not. Tell me why. She is now asking if she is the asshole because the guy got so mad. He left the wedding. He sent her a text message, how hard it was to get the ring, how he felt rejected, that she was his closest person and she embarrassed him. She said, I tried to explain that it's not that. It's not that I didn't want to marry him. She's like, it was our best friend's wedding and they
Yeah.
deserved their moment.
Yeah.
So she was like, this situation perplexes me. I've never seen the appeal of proposing at someone else's wedding.
I
I tried to
agree.
handle the situation in a way that I felt was calm and chill. But he's very adamant that I ruined his first proposal.
First proposal, first off.
Yeah, I know, right? So she's asking the internet now. She's like, am I missing something? Should I admit that I was wrong and have just gone along with the proposal?
No, I don't think she's the asshole.
So, right?
No.
So, I mean, to me, it was very obvious. It's
Yeah,
like,
if they all said no, if she said no, the bride and the groom all said no, and it was a joke and they were still saying no, like, obviously
so
they
the
didn't want it to
one thing I
happen.
didn't get clear is the groom was kind of like jokey about it, but like she said she couldn't tell if he was serious or not.
Yeah.
But the bride and her were like both like absolutely fuck
yeah.
no.
let them have their moment and do an amazing proposal like the next weekend or something. But like, let them have their moment.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think that she's wrong at all.
Isn't that crazy though? The reaction to storm out after you've been told don't do this.
Yeah, you were told not to do that. Absolutely, she didn't do nothing wrong.
And for him to say like, I worked really hard to get the ring, and then you embarrassed me, and then to leave the wedding party, like the reception.
Red flag. I'm sorry.
Right.
Red flag. Don't get married. Maybe.
Yeah.
Once you see them red flags early on, listen to your gut. Don't do what I did.
And it's that's why I kind of thought about this. I was like, oh, I bet you Brittany might have an opinion or two on this one.
No, I think like definitely if they said no, I agree that you should let people have their moments. It's cute sometimes whenever the bride and groom are involved and they want it to happen. Like that's their own choice.
Have you ever seen it at a wedding where someone else got to?
I've never seen it in like real life, but I've seen it like social media stuff. But like the bride and the groom were part of it. Like they wanted it to happen. That's different. But if they're saying no, like you should let them have their moment no matter what.
Like if you have a sister and a brother or like, you know, or something like that where it's like, oh, this like it's a big family event and it feels really like the whole family's there. So like the next day at brunch we'll do like the engagement or, you know, like after I don't know. I would be fucking pissed if I was a bride or groom.
I would not be happy with that, and I don't think she did anything wrong, and his reaction sounds a little cray-cray.
Right? If he would have just been like, oh, you're right, like, haha, I thought, like, you know, I would be like, okay, that's fine. But, like, the reaction of storming out being like, I worked so hard to get this ring.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you were going to use the ring no matter what, so you could have just waited and done the proposal still with the same ring.
He could have done it in their hotel room that night, just privately, and just been like, you guys, by the way, I mean, it still would be so awkward to be like, oh, you got engaged on their wedding day.
But still, you were going to have to get a ring no matter when you proposed.
I know. You know what I mean? So hard to get it.
I'm sorry, but if you're listening to this, whoever you are, you're not in the wrong.
You are not in the wrong, girl.
You are not in the wrong.
And that's on period.
On period. Point blank period. So guys, if you guys are going to be in New York City, I am coming back to City Winery on May 22nd. So get your tickets. Come see me for Sip, Spill, and Sparkle. It's going to be so fun. We're going to do all, spilling tea, Q&As, meet and greets, trivia, all the fun stuff. So make sure you come see me May 22nd at City Winery.
New York City, baby.
I love New York. I'm going right back.
Start spreading the news.
Yes. I love it there. Next week, I'm going to have Anna Camp on. I'm so excited.
Oh, my God.
You guys... everyone knows who Anna Camp is. Look her up if you don't know the name, but she is like the star of Pitch Perfect. She is the star of Netflix's You, and she is a Bravo fan. So I cannot wait to have her on.
Oh my God.
We started following each other, and I was like, I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm just going to DM her and be like, would you mind coming on my podcast? And she said, yes.
Oh my God.
So
Anna, if you can hear this, we are such a fan. Well, I'm such a fan of the Pitch Perfect movies. Oh, she's so good.
She's so good. So make sure you guys tune in next week as well. Anna Camp, can't wait to meet you. This is going to be so much fun. Thank you, Jared, so much for coming on. I love you so much. I hope you had a good time.
I love you. Thanks for having me.
Tell everybody where to find you.
You can follow me along on TikTok and Instagram at Jared Lips, and check me out on my podcast with Jason and Janet Caperna, This Side of the Hill.
Love it.
Yes.
Everyone have a great weekend and happy Mother's Day. Woo-hoo. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. Toughest job in the world. And we are just amazing and deserve all the love.
Absolutely. It should be a Mother's Year, not a Mother's Day.
Mother's Month, Mother's something.
Yes.
But yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week on When Reality Hits.
Are you looking for your next case? Pluto TV has all your favorite crime dramas streaming for free.
You're gonna need some backup.
Which means suspense is free.
Very cool.
Watch CSI New York, Criminal Minds, Blue Bloods, Tracker, FBI, and SWAT all for free.
You can't outrun this.
Someone is gonna pay for all this crime. But it's not gonna be you.
Take care of business, fellas.
Watch all the cases, all for free, from all your favorite devices.
We got you.
Feel the free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.